fun. So everyone can hear me. Here we go. Trinity Force Live music. Go!
You know what time it is. Welcome to the Trinity Force Podcast. Ran Hurt, resident AP, plays mid and his styles are shady. Got a syndrome, can't nerf it. You can find him in the chat, type of worth it. And that's Hornet, sucking ill hell. Thought it was going up, once again it fell. Never spent a single dime alone, and if you step into his jungle, expect a brawl. All slander, mad specialist. He's precise and tolerate estimates. The man's addicted by every hero. You can tell cause his bank account's stuck at zero. And last but not least, your host Pornophobia. Picks an 80 carry and he's on ya. He's got the full mount, ground and pound. Don't get excited, it's not as sexy as it sounds. That's your whole team, enjoy the podcast. Put your headphones on, we'll have a blast. We're checking email and Twitter, of course. Just don't ask us how four guys make a Triforce.
Hey guys, welcome to Trinity Force Podcast, episode number 28. My name is Pornophobia, and I am your host for this evening. We are the official podcast at GG Chronicle and LeagueCraft.com, and I'm actually going to turn this over to Ranhurt now, who has a special announcement for us.
Hey guys, I'd like to tell you about a little deal we've got going on with Audible.com. Actually, what you can do, and I'll tell you a little bit about Audible. If you go to audibletrial.com/tforcepodcast, that's right, audibletrial.com/tforcepodcast. They actually have over 100,000 titles over there in audiobook format. Any book that you can pretty much think of, you'll find over there in audio, which is really cool because if you're anything like me, you really don't feel like reading, but you feel like you have to read, well, now you can just listen to this stupid stuff. And it's really cool. So they have like Hunger Games. If you're really into the Game of Thrones on HBO, you can read the freaking books there. And those books are long books, so now you can actually listen to them. So it's very cool. But if you use our link, you'll actually get the 30-day free trial and a free audiobook as well. So check it out. Again, that's audibletrial.com/tforcepodcast. And you won't have to tell them that Ranhurt sent you because they'll already know.
So thanks Audible, and thanks Ranhurt. So of course Ranhurt here's with me this week, and we have Hornet AJC joining us.
What's up, gentlemen?
And since Dirt Auslander had to go to some kind of wake tonight, I decided to grab Optimus Tom. Optimus Tom.
Tell me what to
do. Took him long enough.
Yeah, I had my thing muted for background noise, and I had to unmute it, but it slipped. So I was like, crud.
Oh, you don't have to worry about muting it right now. We don't care.
That's true.
So, guys, it's another week. Tom has never been on League, and I've been playing a lot, and I actually got to play with some Hornet the other night. So, how has your guys' week been?
Holy shit. You know, my week's been freaking hectic. I actually got some games in. I can't even believe I got some games in. And, of course, as soon as I go on this nice winning streak I have with Malphite, I'm now going to be forced to not play for like a week and a half due to some obligations I got going on. So it's like freaking sucks. Like just when you feel like you're playing well, you got something going, real life's now going to kick me in the ass and not allow me to play for a little while. But otherwise, it was good, and I absolutely love Malphite recently. He has been an absolute pleasure to play. I feel like I'm God with his ultimate. Just I feel like I can control so many aspects of a fight just by how I initiate, and otherwise, things are good. I've actually been able to play with Pornophobia and Ranhurt for a few games, which I don't know when was the last time that actually happened. I can't remember anymore. We don't know what it's like to play with each other.
Well, I'll tell you what I really don't understand is, or don't remember what it's like, is playing with Optimus Top. I don't even think that guy's touched the game except for spectator mode in quite some time.
Oh man, that guy sucks.
He is pretty awful.
He wasn't even good before all the stupid, shoutcasting. Now it's just like, man. Unless you're like a fine wine, Tom, you just sit it away, let it age, and it just gets better. I'm not really sure, but what do you think?
Have a female to like distract you like the rest of us. Like, what the hell? How does that work?
Because League is his mistress.
It is his mistress. Casting in League is his mistress.
Jesus. It's like a dominatrix. I'm not sure you want that punishment.
Oh
man, it kind of is. That's okay. I enjoy it. At least a couple nights during the week.
Oh, I know. And, you've been gone so long. We haven't even seen Battle Arena for a couple weeks.
Oh man, like I was going to do Battle Arena last night, but then I was invited to do this tri-casting thing with Cody from Player POV and Bubba But I Love You. So we did this tri-casting thing, and at first it started out to be kind of serious, and we're like, oh yeah, we'll do a tri-cast. And then as we kept going on, we just kept making little jokes and blah 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 blah. So it turned into like this full-blown like hour-and-a-half long cast of us just really, it was like a comedy casting thing, but at the same time we're still kind of commenting on the matches, so I don't know how it worked, but it did. It's over on Bubba But I Love You's YouTube channel now. Like I linked to it yesterday on Twitter and Facebook and stuff, so you guys can check it out if you want to, but it was definitely a learning experience. We are definitely better than Freak, Rivington, and Bob doing the TriCast.
Oh, wow, that's really sticking it to him, Tom.
Fighting words.
Yes.
I
Hey,
mean,
Tom.
there was, yeah?
Go ahead. Oh, no, I was splitting off onto something else, but I was going to say, did I see it right? I'm sorry?
For IPL.
Oh, for IPL, yeah. So, you haven't heard anything about that yet?
No, actually, they started their first qualifier matches today. IGN was quoted as saying, "This is only the first of many qualifiers. Don't sweat it, guys. We haven't picked anybody yet." Because I was actually texting Adam at work today. I was like, "Who the heck got the job? Why didn't I get it? What's going on?" Ah! I was just like, I don't think they picked anybody yet. So I was like frantically searching in one hand with my phone while making lattes with the other hand. I was like, "What's going on?"
I'm crushing Tom's spirit. He's like, I'm like the first person when you search it. I'm like, Tom, there's like 4 of them, and one has 600 views, and you have 100. I'm sorry, buddy. But
Yeah, and I guess that was my point was, if you guys are listening to this and you like Tom, or you haven't checked out any of his stuff, you really should, because you probably won't find a more energetic caster out there. I mean, he's really, like, you can tell, like, his love for the game comes through his casting, like, so much. He's got great knowledge for it. So check out those videos and watch them. Let's get that view count up, and, leave some comments and stuff for Tom, and let's help him, any way we can get that casting gig.
yeah, check the description when this podcast, when you guys, wherever you pull this podcast from, there will be a link to his latest entry. That's what I'm looking for. So you guys can go check it out. It'll be a nice tiny URL. So you have to do is click and watch and like.
Oh, it's like you guys are trying to like flatter me into playing with you again.
No, we don't ever want you to play with us. So we're just trying to help you.
Your other endeavors.
Yeah.
just so your mistress continues to control you, which is this casting. I mean, that's just what we want. Absolutely just what we want.
Yeah,
instead of you actually playing with us.
Yeah, did you listen to last week's podcast? I got chastised for casting one night.
I actually did.
Betrayal. That's what last week's podcast.
Yeah,
the
it was
theme of
betrayal because you ditched, saying, "Oh no, I don't really want. Oh wait, no, I'm going to do it for something better."
No, I had to cast a 4-court jester. I can't pass up that opportunity. People love me.
Yeah, he got the cast with forecourt, and then I wound up doing the finals.
Yeah, at what, 1 a.m.?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Oh man, that CSN Play Legends tournament, they told me and Soto to be on at like 10 o'clock for the finals. So I was sitting there like, okay, 10 o'clock's fine, we'll watch the first game anyway. Mind you, I had work at 5:30 in the morning. So I took like an hour-and-a-half nap beforehand, and thank God I did. Because we wound up staying awake until 1 a.m. That's when the final series started, and it was a best of 3. I went to bed at about 2:45 that morning, and then woke up for work at 5.
Oh my god, I couldn't do it.
That's where I've been.
Sleeping?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Yeah, like we messaged him tonight, I get a text back, fuck.
It was definitely, there are many fucks given.
I said he could have, like, gave less fucks and started logging onto his computer. It would have been on quicker.
I was actually moving while typing, but then I really had to pee because I just woke up. My bladder felt like 1,000 pounds. And I was like, fuck, piss, fuck. And then I came.
If you haven't noticed, this podcast is no longer PG-13. Tonight's podcast is rated R.
Listen, I was trying to keep it cool until you started, coming out with my text message of fuck.
That's
so
all
that no fucks were given anymore.
We'll blame Tom for us starting late, even though, some of us were in a game failing it up hard.
Oh my god.
Well after 9 o'clock.
Speaking of...
Every week?
Yeah, no, that's not every week. Speaking of that game, I got to play Varus in that game, and I did fairly well as Varus. I was like 10-4 or something silly by the time that game ended, even though we lost. And I have to say, first initial impression says, some of those may not know, today/yesterday Varus came out, which is a new 80 carry. And of course, I'm like the resident 80 carry, so I picked him up right away, bought the skin pack. I would have bought the double one, but he only came out with one skin.
Yeah, I don't know why he only came out with one skin, but I'm glad he did, because if you don't pick up the skin for Varus, he looks like Demonic Fabio mixed with Edward Flynn, and I really don't want to be playing that. You have to, that's the rule. If you buy Varus, you have to buy this skin. It's not some marketing ploy. It's the fact that if you don't, then you look like a fruit.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like the idea. I mean, not to get on a skin tangent, but it's something near and dear to my heart. But I kind of like the idea of them having one skin that's actually a good skin. Like you're more tempted to buy it, and not that they should be tempting you, but it makes it worth it. And most of the skins that we've seen come out, you kind of get like a so-so kind of mediocre skin, and then you get a really nice skin, and the nice skin's the next, the third skin in the bundle. And this kind of feels good. Like you kind of almost expect that in the near future you're probably going to see another skin for Varus, and that kind of anticipation is good for champs. I'd like to see it happen more often, actually.
Instead of coming out with 2 skins, I think the complaint is that they will only give 1 skin, and then they will never give that character another skin, kind of like a Swain. If Swain would have only came out with 1 skin, that's all he would have right now. He would never, because he came out with the double bundle when he first came. So I think that is the argument against only starting with 1 skin.
Maybe.
What does Hornet think? I want to get his input on the skins.
Yes, because I buy all of them. I will say though that as far as really cool skins, it seems like AD carries have got some of the best of them. So if anything holds true, there will be some better ones coming out for Varus, because I can't think of another AD carry that doesn't have multiples. Like, even Urgot has an awesome new skin, that came out not that long ago.
Yeah, the Battlecaster Urgot.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
That took a while for that one, though. He only had 2 before that.
He only had 2, and the Giant Crab was pretty crappy, but...
Giant Enemy Crab got? Blasphemy.
Yeah, it's shitty.
Love that skin.
Sorry.
I love that skin.
Yeah, okay.
Chick slung over his arm. He's just like, what?
Yeah, I'm a crab. What? Come at me, bro.
What do you want? It's like straight out of Game of Thrones.
Deal with it.
Take Chick.
I mean, I'm just looking through. Ash has got goddamn 6 skins. Caitlyn's got 5.
Graves has 3.
Misfortune has a bunch.
Misfortune has a whole bunch, plus 1 retired skin.
Kog'Maw's got 6.
And a legendary.
I mean, seriously, like, AD carries get the shit ton of skins. Like, and Graves just got a new awesome one, with Mafia. So, I'm not sure there's much you can ask for as far as AD carries. You got more than your share of skins to choose from.
Don't forget all the Twitch skins. And Gangplank, he's got a gun. He's a range carry.
Yeah, he counts, right?
Yeah, well...
Yeah.
Nothing like a toy soldier, I mean,
And Corky, of course, with Earth Rider.
Well, if there's anything like the recent games that you guys played, freaking Gangplay's AP mid. I mean, shit.
We played a game.
That's what I heard.
Yes. They filled Tom in. We started a game, and the last guy goes, screw it. Gangplank mid. I'm too high for this shit. And then he just starts playing Gangplank mid and actually wins against the Misfortune.
Well, first off, there's a Misfortune mid. And
Not Misfortune, sorry, Morgana.
Okay, Gangplank's not a terrible mid against Morgana, because Morgana's going to be like, oh, I'm going to go up against an AP, I'm going to shield, I'm going to snare them, blah, blah, blah. And Gangplank has a kit that completely counters that. Because he does physical damage, and if he gets snared, he just eats an orange and it's K.
It is a pretty hard counter for her, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
It's kind of like...
That 5th guy that you've been making fun of for the past 24 hours is the smartest person you've played.
That's not...
actually a
Present
master
company
tactician.
included.
Those were special tactics.
Yeah, but we even have an AP. He's just like, I'm going Gangplank mid. I don't care. We were going to report him for drug abuse. That was... we all decided we were going to report him for drug abuse.
Oh my god, that's so fucking topic.
Yeah. It is. And Record was playing with us too, which was funny.
I was going to say,
I'm sure he enjoys us just broadcasting this shit.
And
hey, with the list of people we play with, I wouldn't be surprised if they've been reported for that.
All right, I think we should probably before I tell the story. Actually, I'm not going to tell the story.
Our new AD carry contest, as a matter of fact, because who is your partner?
Well, my partner is more likely Dura Auslander, but I will also have Wrecker in as my alternate.
Look at you! You're like forming a 2v2 team. You got backups and subs and everything.
I know. I'm trying to talk about Varus, but now we have this AD carry competition, which I guess I should just go into right now.
No, you should talk about Varus, damn it.
Ooh, so I'm going to hold the competition until the end of the podcast?
I can tell you about Varus. Varus is OP, end of story.
Varus is not OP at all.
Oh, man, you're playing him so wrong.
No, Varus is a Kog'Maw, but it's pretty much exactly like Kog'Maw. However, Kog'Maw will do more damage and rape harder in endgame than Varus will. Because Varus relies on using his skills to do that any kind of damage. You have to stack 3 stacks of Blight, which is from his W, then use an E to do, 6-7% of their maximum life. And then anybody that's running, you have to use a Q to hit them to proc those Blight stacks. And that's pretty much all the damage he does. So, yeah, he has auto attacks, but he's no Vayne or he's no Graves that just has this,
Actually,
steroid.
I think he's a better Vayne. He's definitely a better Vayne because if Vayne switches targets, your silver bolts go away. If Varus switches targets, he can stack the stacks. On top of it, he can stack up to 15% maximum HP damage by getting the 3 stacks.
Okay, 15%. I said 6. I was thinking 3. I forgot its scale.
No, it's 5 at level 5. So if you actually land one of those skill shots, it's a little bit more challenging. Unlike Kog'Maw, you can just kind of right click and follow after people, but if you follow too far, you have no escape. With Varus, you have no escape. But if you play him properly, at level 3 in a lane, what I do is I like to get one of all 3 of my skills. I'll start with my W, then I'll go for my E, and then I'll go for my Q. So what I do is, once I'm level 3, I start poking at people with my auto attack, and if they start to run away, I activate my E. That automatically procs any stack I have on them, and it slows them down. This allows me to get a couple more auto attacks off, so at this point, they're below a half health, maybe a quarter health. Then you finish off with your Q, and it winds up proccing all those stacks. So at level 1, I think it's 3%, so you're dealing 9% of their maximum HP, plus your Q, which is max range, has a 1.7 AD ratio, which is absurd, especially at low levels. So you're going to be, you wind up dealing 300 damage in that finishing blow alone at level 1. Or at level 3.
No, yeah. And Brandon and I talked about this before. He has a better early game than Kog'Maw. The problem is he falls off late game because he doesn't have that natural steroid like Kog'Maw does with his Q. If he kills a minion, he gets a 20% increase to his attack speed. If he kills a champion, he gets a 40%. However, Kog'Maw has the natural 30-40% off his Q. And, it's always there. And you're building attack speed, and your W is always doing percent of maximum life with every single hit. Varus, you have to stack Blight stacks, use an ability to get that percentage, while Kog'Maw's just standing in the back raping face. I mean, he's a worse Kog'Maw right now. He's very fun to play and rapes harder in the early game, but...
Yeah, but I don't think we're not discussing something that's extremely important, and that's his ultimate. 80 Kog'Maw's, his ultimate's great because of the range and everything, but it scales mostly on AP, so it's not really helping you out a whole lot as AD, and Varus, on the other hand, has pretty much got a Morgana ult. It's just a little bit different, but...
it's a crappy small skill shot. You can hit it. If there's nothing in the way, you hit it. And it does work. It's very nice for killing in lane. That's the thing.
We're talking about late game team fights where everyone's bunched up, and so it's going to have a much better opportunity to spread to the other champions. I don't know. I think he's cool. I haven't actually tried him, so I guess I shouldn't talk too much. But he feels like he's got a better early game than Kog'Maw. He feels like a cross between Vayne and Ezreal. He's got all the skill shots of Ezreal. He's got kind of the Blythe stacking of Vayne. He doesn't have the visibility of Vayne or the tumble for her to get away or the blink from Ezreal. So he lacks that ability to get away, but he does have the skill shot stun ultimate, and he does have the slow from his E. So those am I right? That's his E or is his W?
His E is the rain of arrows.
Right now, okay, so it's his E. So those things there kind of help him get away just as much as Kog'Maw has the ability to get away.
He doesn't get away though. That's the thing. He is so squishy. He has 0.5 more armor than Kog'Maw at level 1. And if anybody gets on you, with Kog'Maw, you can flash E and have this nice big long line. But with him, it's like this. It's a skill shot radius. And if you miss your E, they're not going to get slowed, or they're slowed for just a little bit and they walk and they still catch you.
Yeah, but you can cast it on yourself and then walk away from it. You can do that, especially in bot lane when you're talking about that little bit between your tower and where the ground comes in and the terrain comes in right in front of your tower. You can pretty much cover most of that between that and the brush. the bot lane brush with your E. I mean, it could work. I mean, he's got decent abilities to do that. The other thing is, unlike Kog'Maw, and not that we should be getting into a big Varus versus Kog'Maw discussion, but Kog'Maw's his passive really sucks. Some people like it. But you have to die in order to use it, so you've already failed. I mean, you don't want to die, so. You got
to think about it too. Varus's passive isn't that great. Like, at first, I gotta kind of say I like Varus. I'm having fun playing him and the way he plays because it's very fun to play with him in bottom lane Leona, getting those sunlight procs, doing the % of life damage and everything. I just kind of would rather play Kog'Maw in some situations because it still feels like you need to play protect the Varus. Now, getting on further, what your point was, Varus's passive isn't that great. It's great for laning. Now, if you're walking up to like contest Baron, he doesn't have that attack speed, buff like a Kog'Maw does off his Q. So both of their passives are pretty, meh when it comes down to the late game where you're not able to get it rolling unless you have a creep wave walk at you. And you have 6 seconds after you kill a creep to have a 20% attack speed.
Let me say this though, because this is the thing that gets me, or that makes me very interested in seeing Varus in a team fight. You definitely want that first kill as the team. When everybody gets split apart, if you can have Varus just somehow damage everybody and then somehow get that first kill, then all of a sudden, if you have the right, support champion that keeps Varus alive, you get one death or one kill or one assist, and he gets a temporary attack speed. Then it's going to snowball immediately.
Sure.
Like you're going to see like that immediate benefit to getting that attack speed from getting one kill or one assist in a team fight. Next thing you know, that should snowball to the rest of it, and that should be exactly what you need. I mean, it almost feels like he could be a great snowball champion in that effect if you have the right team comp for him.
So what happens though when you're attacking? He all works off attack speed because the faster you get the blight stacks, the faster you're going to do the percentage of damage, the 15%, and maybe you're not very good at placing skill shots or everything. I think that's why you need to be playing a Kog'Maw instead of a Varus. You need to be very good at placing skill shots with him because you have to drop his E to do the damage, or you have to chase runners with his Q. And which is, a little side thing. If you're smart casting his Q, it's very nice because you hold it down and you still see the amount of area that he can shoot from. It still gives you the whole targeting reticle thing, which is nice for him because normally you would think you'd hold it down and you wouldn't get that blue area. So, I mean, that helps when you're...
Well, that's cool.
That's helped when you're doing the skill shots, but like an Ezreal or, like any other champ that uses a lot of skill shots, you have to be very proficient in them to use him very well because you're going to be the first target in every fight, just like a Kog'Maw is, and now you need to protect Varus.
Well, let's also say there is a big difference between a good Ezreal and a great Ezreal. And the great Ezreals are just, that much better because they know the exact range of their skill shots, and they know how to predict movement with their skill shots. And it makes a huge difference as far as the thing goes. Now, as far as the difference between Ezreal and Varus obviously has an ultimate that I think makes a bigger difference, whereas like Ezreal's is kind of thrown around a lot of times like creep waves and other things. But it's something to be considered is that when you look at skill shot champions like that, once you get used to it, it's going to take a little bit of practice. It's going to be something you need to mess with, yourself. A little practice. I remember trying to play Ezreal and thinking, oh yeah, this should be easy. I could just skill shot and I could just, quick cast all of this. No, it's not nearly that simple because you must almost get the feel for the distance that those skill shots travel, so and be as efficient as possible with it.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like he's going to be, just a high skill cap champion. So I guess it'll be interesting to see if he has enough utility to entice the high level, should I say, pro players or the 2K plus ELO players or low players to actually pick him up and play him to learn him. So, I mean, I guess that's really the question here is whether or not he has that. When you start getting up to that high ELO, you start seeing, more Ashe, more Corki, champions that have enough utility with the, with their auto attacks, enough damage there, but then also add on the, the ultimates that can really turn the game around. Corki with his poke, Ashe with her arrow, and things that can really turn a team fight and sway it in their side. So I'm not sure that Varus has that per se, but maybe his ultimate is good enough for that. I guess
Ash's ultimate is better than Varus's ultimate, just because of the range on it. You can use Ash to initiate fights, while Varus cannot initiate fights with his.
Oh, certainly, but I think Varus has the ability to snowball better earlier than
absolutely,
Ash does.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a give or take, but I mean, like if you start talking about like Graves, if you talk about Graves at the highest level versus a Varus maybe at the highest level or an Ezreal at the highest level. Graves has the ability to poke a lot, but he also puts you out of position, and you have to use his E to kind of tumble like Vayne in order to get the speed boost, whereas Varus kind of gets it from his auto-attacking and last hitting. So, there's things there that are enticing, I think, to the pro players, and we might see him, not that we see a whole lot of Graves, but I think his kit's almost better than Graves for that high-level pro play that's going to be dependent upon accuracy and trying to sway the team fights in late game.
It's interesting that you put it that way. I like Graves because of his E steroid that he has on him, and he just he becomes an auto attack champ.
The damage he puts out is just on another level. I think it's still on another level.
Yeah, I mean we see, and I think we see mostly Corkis. We're seeing a lot of Corki at high level play. We're seeing a lot of, and we still see a lot of Ash. I don't know. I think he could fit in there potentially. We still see a lot of Cogmaw because he fits well into comps and strategies. I think we could see him in there, but I mean we're not seeing as much Graves at high level play as we used to.
I think it's going to be his ultimate that's going to maybe include him or not include him.
That's what I think.
I think that'll make the difference as to will that fit a team fight the way we need, the way it's needed.
I think we'll see a lot of like kill lanes out of him. A lot of because he goes very well with the Leona and her Sunlights.
I agree with that.
He goes well with a Nunu too, I think, because that gives him a steroid that he's missing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Nunu goes great with a lot of people though.
Right. I'm just looking at if you get a chain of corruption, and I'm going to segue this because we're going to actually talk about this in a second. Think about a chain of corruption, and then you link that with another ability like a Veigar gate. All of a sudden somebody's immobilized, then all of a sudden you drop a gate on them and they're immobilized again. Or you don't even need to use the gate yet. You can just use all the single target ability just to say, okay, the corruption's on you. Bam, bam, bam. You're done. It's a nice ultimate the way it initiates, in my opinion, that it just keeps somebody in place. Sure. And I think that's going to be the difference when we get to team fights and how that gets played, I should say.
So where are you segueing this into?
I am segueing anywhere. I think Tom here is writing something in our document that's extremely impressive.
Yes, I've actually gone into much consideration as to the best team comp to put Varus in, and I think I've come up with one of two different choices. You need to have a Malphite top lane and a Mumu in your jungle, because we've seen a rise of more jungle Mumu since the latest patches have come out. A Morgana in the middle, Sona as your support, and Varus is your AD carry.
Oh my
That's
God.
an AoE comp.
That's an AoE stun comp is what that is.
Yes. You could also substitute out Morgana for Galio.
Would you need somebody like a Mumu to go with a Malphite? I mean, yes, you have everybody to stun everybody. I think you could.
That's why I think Veigar is better than Morgana, because I'm looking at the damage possibilities, and you have, there's no burst damage from anybody except Varus in that comp that you just put together.
Yeah, Malphite
you could also
really
go like
much.
Jarvan top or something too if you had to.
You could have Jarvan top. That would be a little bit more damage. I was thinking Malphite because of the ultimate, and
right.
Amumu's you've seen a lot more of. I mean, you could also perhaps maybe go with like a Maokai in the jungle, but he deals basically as much damage as a Mumu. Mumu might actually deal a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you could put someone like Nautilus in the jungle, because Nautilus still carries very hard late game. You don't need all of that CC that you have in this comp, because Malphite and Mumu kind of, I mean, they don't really work all that well together. You get one in, and then as soon as that ult goes down, somebody's dying. More than likely. Now you got Malphite that comes in, knocks everybody up, and then a Mumu comes in and stuns everybody. But the problem is where's the damage coming from? And I apologize for the dog barking in the background.
I don't know. I've learned the hard way. It's not about how much damage you deal, but how much CC you have. So.
Yeah, but I
Like,
think somebody
other
has to
than
do
the
the damage while the CC's going down, and so like in this comp, Varus would have to, he would have to do all the damage pretty much, because unless you held them on Morgana's pool, there's no one really doing like a sustained damage. That's why I'm kind of thinking like a Jarvan.
Well, what about a Rumble?
I would love a Vladimir.
Maybe that would
Give
be
me
bad.
Give me Vladimir with, that combination.
Kennen. I'm
and
thinking Kennen.
a Kennen would be also excellent. Anybody who has that AoE damage that just would sit out, right in the ultimate. I mean, that's just sick.
I mean, we actually the last game, I hate to even bring it up, but I mean, we had an Amumu jungle, Sona bot,
Sona Graves bot,
Katarina mid. I mean, it was just kind of a pain because Amumu would do his stun and then Cat would ult, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah, and Sona had an ult as well to stop us all, and it was a pain in the ass. Just having that two types of CC is a pain in the ass when it comes.
But
to
I think that's like and that's kind of like a, hey, let's get 5 friends up and stomp, low level fun. I mean, that's not really like, you're not really going to see so much of that in high level play because they're not going to get caught as much, and I don't know, but
You wouldn't see the Katarina, but we have seen a bunch of teams run AoE comps before, so it's not
absolutely.
too far away. So I mean, I actually never thought about Vladimir with the Hemoplague. How would Hemoplague work if you triggered Varus' 15% max HP stack damage?
it just blew my mind, sir.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I got
You're
no
replacing the math.
immediate answer for
Where's
that.
the
That would take
numbers?
some research.
Yeah.
I'd have to actually see that in play. I'd be very curious to know the answer to that.
Wrong
though.
week to bring that up, Tom. There's no math lender here to run the numbers.
Yeah, really?
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you you're wrong.
Don't tell me when I'm wrong.
You're wrong for bringing it up this week.
But oh, so right.
But oh, so right. So, I'm going to kind of segue this now after this awesome Varus discussion into a voicemail that we got from Pugsy Bub. It's a follow-up voicemail from last week, and I'm not going to play it for the live guys, but for you guys that are listening to this podcast tomorrow, I'm going to play it right now. So, for all you guys who are out there, what he went over is he said Veigar. He feels he is secretly OP, and if he was going to support a Veigar in mid, who would we support it with, and what team comp could we use him in?
You forgot one part of that question.
Oh yeah, what did I forget?
The ending part that says Ponophobia sucks at League of Legends.
I'm working through
That
it.
wasn't a question. That was fact.
Yeah,
that was fact.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna consider it a question until Pone plays a lot more Varus, then he can't suck.
Oh my god. You can go look at my last Varus games. All of them positive because I'm not bad at Varus at all.
Go look at his last Ash games though, and then you.
I don't understand what all the Ash hate is for. That's all I get is Ash hate.
Playing Ash, buddy.
Oh my
You
god.
can look at my last Veigar game from the night, and it's a 666.
I don't know about you, but Ponophobia's status on League of Legends right now is 10 win boost. It doesn't win, so you're not really helping yourself out here, bud.
Oh my god. No, there's another piece of this question that says, how do you team fight with Veigar? So first of all, I'm not sure why he's asking to support Veigar in the middle. I guess I'm missing something from last week's voicemail, but who do you support Veigar with?
Well, I'm thinking.
He's not talking about support Veigar. I think he's.
Yeah, I
talking
think
about-
he's supporting Veigar as a team
No.
comp in general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who would you put on a team with Veigar in it? I think
And
it's
let me say this. I have a couple thoughts on this. Because Veigar is such a huge dominant single target destructor, especially when he gets to late game. His gate is great for CC in general, and it is really good as a whole, and I really do like it, especially when it's used well. However, for his CC, that single target, twisted advance on somebody, they are stuck in place. Veigar can just single-handedly destroy them right then and there. He doesn't even need to use his gate at that point. I like Amumu because of the AoE stun, keeping everybody in place. And I'd have to say I love, and this is because of my recent play, but I love Malphite in that case. Malphite will also stun somebody long enough that Veigar can just absolutely destroy them with an initiation. I like those three personally. I think they make the most sense, just for how they match up and put together for against a single target for Veigar to just absolutely destroy.
Yeah,
I think I have
two. I'll add two more to that, and that's Jarvan and Alistar. The issue with Veigar late game is that his gate doesn't have a very good range. So unless you're extremely good at landing the gate, you're going to be kind of dodging in and out trying to land it perfectly and catch as many of the enemy as you can, and in some cases that's going to leave you overextended. So you're going to want beefy champions. Malphite was already brought up, that's a very good example. But you're going to want beefy champions that can offer a little bit of CC that is going to disrupt the enemy team and allow you to get in there and place the gate, and then at that point target and unload on your, whoever the carry is that you need to destroy in 3 hits. So, Alistar is good for that, just getting in there and giving a pop-up. If you have a good Alistar, obviously Jarvan's good for that because he has the pop-up and his ultimate. All of those are going to be able to encapsulate the enemy team, allowing you the time and the safety to place the gate at a short range, back up a little bit, and then just absolutely unload.
Now I'm going to say this: I'll take Alistar as a support. I don't think Alistar in a jungle works, and the reason I don't like it is because Alistar falls off so late game that all you're looking for is to try and CC somebody. That's fine, but he doesn't bring anything else to the table besides survivability and CC to, one, maybe multiple targets, it depends. But because Veigar is so late game, Alistar is early game, I find that a lot of times you'll try and CC somebody early, you might be able to get it once, but then after that it's really, really hard for you to be able to actually totally destroy somebody until it gets to late game, and then I think Alistar's a waste in that spot. But that's just a personal opinion of mine as far as him in jungle. I love him as a support in this case, because I think, number one, he can also protect Veigar in case he does get targeted, which is more than likely going to happen by the enemy team.
Yeah, I think the other thing you want to think about is also everyone's going to know that Veigar is very good late game, and they're going to try and capitalize on his weakness early game. And I say embrace his early game and try and win off it as well. So other champions that I like with a Veigar have early, as far as jungle, have early ganking capabilities, such as perhaps an Udyr or Lee Sin, somebody that can go get red pretty quick and then come mid. Because if you go a Q and then the Q and then you level up your gate, your E second, now you have the ability to CC your mid champion very early, allow your jungler to get in there and get that quick easy gank. Now your mid opponent is behind. You have the freedom to be able to farm up a little bit and farm that Q. And that's kind of what Veigar needs. Not to mention, I really like Lee Sin as a jungler in this case because of his ability to not take blue. And then Veigar really needs blue because he's mana strapped, and even more so mana strapped now that the Meki Pendant doesn't build into the Deathfire Grasp. I'm sorry, Tom. We've cut you off like 7 times. I will give you the floor now, sir.
That's fine, because I was going to say I have an entire team comp built around Veigar, and you guys pretty much covered all the bases. I think if you're going to play Veigar in the middle, there's a very familiar, it should be a familiar sounding team composition you're going to want. You're going to want someone up top like an Udyr or Lee Sin. Your jungle is going to want to be a Maokai or an Amumu, someone with that CC. Your bottom lane is going to be a Janna with the support character, and your range carry is going to be someone like a Corki or a Graves who could deal a decent amount of damage on their own. And one of the reasons that this team comp seems really familiar is because it's the same team composition that you'll see Curse running, because they have Nijaki, who's one of the top Veigar players pretty much in League of Legends. So if Pugsy Bub, I'm sorry, not Bob, is interested in watching a very, very high level Veigar, he really should check out Curse Nijaki's stream or any tournament Curse is playing in. You'll see that if the team does not ban Veigar out against him, he's going to insta-lock it, and he does some pretty nifty things with him. One of the things I have noticed that Nijaki likes doing on Veigar, just to make him a little bit more OP in the middle lane, is he'll play his rune page kind of like what Rise does by picking ability power, not ability power contestances, but going for move speed contestances. Because Veigar, not necessarily the quickest champion in the game, does usually get caught out of position a little bit. This is also going to be giving you a little extra boost of speed. 4.5% move speed isn't normally regarded as a very high thing, but when you need to land those clutch cages with your E, that's a 900 range on it, and if you can close the distance any quicker, any way possible, it's probably going to increase your chances of landing that cage by at least 20%, or if not more. So that little boost of movement speed on the quintessences is pretty much key if you want to, like, it's kind of like that difference between like a good Veigar and a very good, great Veigar like Nijaki, where if you can land those cages on your own, it's going to be just deadly to any character you're playing against in the middle lane, especially if you're level 6 and you have your ultimate where it's going to be dealing more damage based off how much ability power they have. So it's these little kind of teeny tiny things that if you do see a high level Veigar playing, you kind of have to keep in mind, because they have these things like memorized, whereas somebody like Pugsy Bub might not know that Veigar, he seems like this really like overpowered champion. Well, there's these little kind of tweaks and stuff the pros have been doing to really take advantage of that.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense because the ability power is extremely easy to buy, and you'll hear that all over the place. It's very easy to get a lot of ability power, and with Veigar it's even easier because his Q, if you last hit minions and you're good with it, which isn't that hard to be, you're going to build even more ability power. So that's a great point to replace your, if you have flat or scaling AP quints, go ahead and replace them with movement speed and enhance where you're a little bit weak. And the reason that is good for Veigar is because he is such a late game champion that having that early ability power isn't really doing anything for you because you're not really going to burst anyone down. Now, keeping that in mind, do not discount his power as soon as he hits level 6. He's very much like Annie in the sense that you can, once you hit level 6, if you can get your gate and combo off it, you're gonna really burst down the enemy champion. Coupled with an ignite, you can get that early kill at level 6. Look for that opportunity to do so, but after that, you're pretty much holding on to late game.
That's pretty much it. He's ridiculous. Like, once you hit level 6, there is one thing you need to remember. You need to take in account your combo when you're playing Veigar. You want to do it to maximize your amount of damage. So after you land your stun, you want to be initiating with your Deathfire's Grasp, and then you want to be going into the rest of your combo. The easiest way to use your combo is set your Deathfire's Grasp to number 1 on your keypad, and go E1 R or E1 W R Q.
Smart casting it as well to your
Yes.
Deathfire Grasp.
So that way, you're not only are you going to be landing the most damage first, but you're also going to be able to get the W off before casting the rest of your spells in rotation. So as everything lands, it'll all land at the same time, and you get that really cool kind of flow, where as soon as the W casts, their HP goes from like full to nothing, and it's just really awesome to watch. There is something you do have to keep in mind with the remake to Deathfire's Grasp, though. I was actually talking about this in one of my In the Zones the past week, when we were just going over what the new items were, like Athene's Unholy Grail, and going over the remakes of Will of the Ancients and Deathfire's Grasp. I think it's actually a little bit of a nerf to Veigar, because Deathfire's Grasp range used to be 600, which is the same range as his Q and 50 less than his R, so his combo was a lot easier to land because everything was the same range. Deathfire's Grasp has a range of 750 now. So that means if you're going to be doing this combo, 900 range on your E, 750 on your Deathfire's Grasp, 650 on your ultimate, and 600 on your Q. You have to be in range for your entire combo in that 600 range. Otherwise, if you go to smart cast it, you're going to Deathfire's Grasp and then have to walk forward to use the rest of your spells. So it's actually a little bit of a nerf to Veigar's combo, because now you're not all in the same range for all of your skills at the same time. You have to kind of judge it yourself, otherwise you're going to wind up messing it up, and you're not going to be able to hit every single skill, especially your W, if you're not in the certain kind of range you need to be in.
Wow, interesting.
Wow. Yeah, we are like, what, 45 minutes into our podcast, we've so far covered 2 champions and a place to get some really good audiobooks. Sorry. Now, that's sick.
I wanted to say really quickly, though, that people should be definitely smart casting that Deathfire's Grasp if you have it on anybody.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I used to, a long time ago, this is, probably 4 months ago, I wasn't smart casting, but then I realized how great it was to smart cast your items, and if you're not doing it, you're missing out on a lot, because your combos will come out faster. When especially on, a lot of those champions, maybe like a Brand who needs to do an EQW really quickly, smart casting it, in my opinion, is way better than not smart casting it.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, I think I probably brought it up last week, but I'll bring it up again in case you're just listening to this for the first time, but Veigar smartcasts everything but his E. It's extremely important not to smartcast his E, because you want to be able to line up the middle of the gate circle, so, you got like the circumference, and you got like the diameter. In the middle. Yeah, exactly. Whatever the hell, the center point where you put the compass and you draw the circle.
Radius.
You got it. The center point there. That needs to be along your range line. Your range actually counts off of the center point of the circle, and or the end of the radius. And that has to be at the edge or within your range of your entire skill in order for it to set. So if you're thinking or trying to land the gate so that the outer radius of the gate actually lands right on top of the champ, you need to line it up so that the center of the circle is within your range, so that and then the outer edge is on that champion. At that point, it'll be an instant spell. Otherwise, you'll have to walk forward. So for that reason alone, I do not smartcast the E. I smartcast everything else, though.
Boom,
and if you ever wondered why
knowledge.
Ranhard had trouble with Calculus 3, now you know.
Yeah, geometry was no good either. Actually, just all math in general sucks. I used to think I was pretty good at logic too, but you just have to watch a couple replays of mine. You can figure out that I'm not very logical either. And so
math is the
all
worst.
Bad.
Why would you ever want to get in any kind of math, though? That's all I want to know. That's gotta be the worst profession ever to be in.
Terrible.
How boring! Just sitting there crunching numbers all day. You got your little calculator where you type in a number, pull your little lever back, chink.
Yeah,
that's how I picture Auslander with the little cap
come
on.
back to the podcast now that we're ripping on him.
I seriously picture Auslander with one of those caps on, like you see it like the bookies with the rimmed and it's green and see through, and he's got his little ticky tape calculator thing he's got over there, and he's got a stack of chips on his left side and a page full of numbers in front of him. That's how I think he's at work every day. That's all I can think of.
I only hope.
So I'm going to segue this into an AD carry competition that the Trinity Force podcast is going to be putting on. And Auslander and I have been talking. We have 2 Riot NASA skins, and I believe a couple $10 RP cards, but don't hold me to the RP portion of it, because Auslander and I have been going through this. The competition that we're going to be putting up is a 2v2 bottom lane versus Ponophobia and a support of my choosing. And that, when I say support, a person of my choosing. It'll either be Wrecker End or Der Auslander. And the whole point of this is, it's on the North America only. Sorry, guys, I don't have a level 30 account on EU West. And noob. If I did, it would totally be on EU West. I'm trying to work on one to get one up there, but not anytime soon. Anyway, North America only, bottom lane, 2v2, you and a friend get to go against me and a support of my choosing. Now, there are rules for this competition, and first of all, write in the feedback at trinityforcepodcast.com with your summoners' names and what days you're available, and we'll just pick a custom game and go in there and play it. Now, the rules for this are, supports, first of all, we get 1 ban apiece, and you can ban any champion you want. It doesn't matter. But the rules for it is you have to follow the regular support and AD build for bottom lane. There are no kill lanes. You can't do Jarvan Leona. You can't do Scion Nautilus. You can't do anything crazy. It has to be AD carry and support.
I'm out.
Yes, most people are going to be out. No Victor. No Fiddlesticks.
Star.
We have a list of 80 carries and a list of supports you can pick from. They're going to be your generic, Ash, Miss Fortune, Graves, Corki, Tristana, Caitlyn, Vayne, Sivir, Twitch, and supports Alistar, Leona, Soraka, Sona, Taric, Zillion, Nautilus, Lulu, Blitzcrank. I'll have this all out there so you guys can actually see it, but I'm just running through it kind of quickly here. So the only rules that are going to be going on here is supports must follow the traditional support route. That is, you can buy wards, potions, and gold per 10 items. Now you can build those support items into anything you want, and AD carries can build any kind of items they want. Now to win this, however, you either have to get the first kill, it doesn't matter if the support or AD carry gets it, or you have to take out the first tower. So now all this is a 2v2 competition for AD carry and support bottom lane versus each other. First kill, first tower wins, and it's against me and any support I choose. And we're going to judge this based on participation, your attitude, your skill level, and how quickly you killed us. Because we're not just going to give it to the first person who comes out and just destroys my face. Like if Chaos and Special want to do this just to show off, because I totally would probably get owned by them. Anyway. This will go on for, I don't know, I think we're going to go on it for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It just depends on the participation level. Again, if you want to get into this competition, feedback at trinityforcepodcast.com. Include your summoner names and days you're available. And, yeah, you guys will win a Riot NASA skin and potentially some Riot points as well.
What are you going to do? You're not going to allow Alice a Blitzstar combination, are you?
No, you have to pick one AD carry and one support.
Okay. I was just making sure. By the way, I did Ezreal to this.
Yes, Ezreal. I apologize. I was writing this up and trying to go through all the AD carries. I did not add Varus to it since he just came out yesterday, and I wasn't positive if he's balanced or not yet. I've only had a day to play him. I don't think I even have Kog'Maw on that list either. Kog'Maw is another one you pick up. So, and Janna, of course, the support. Well, again, we'll have this whole list out there so you guys can see it. Just no Varus, because we don't actually know how balanced he is. Someone might find something that's crazy that'll just blow people up, but you could totally do a Corki and Leona lane and go for a kill. But like I said, first person to take out the tower, first person to take out the enemy champion, whatever comes first wins. Oh, another rule, you're not allowed to go get any kind of jungle creeps at all, so you can't start it like red and fill a full armor page and get the red buff and come down and destroy bottom lane. So that is the competition. If you want to win Riot Nasus and you think you can take on Ponophobia and his support.
I don't see Gangplank. That guy's got a gun.
Gangplank doesn't count as a traditional support. Neither does Morgana.
I know what I challenge you to.
Oh, no. One jungle who can clear it the fastest? No.
Alright, I'm playing.
I want to challenge you where you have to play Ashe.
Oh my god, you're gimping me for this competition?
Dude, your Ashe is so good. Why are you doing that?
Oh, I'm gonna play Misfortune. So that's it. So everyone's gonna ban Misfortune now. Misfortune Leona, it's done.
Strut really does a whole lot of fucking good when you're doing a 2v2.
Oh my god, you haven't seen my Misfortune.
Jesus
obviously.
fucking Christ.
I got my Strut on the other night. I got away from like a 3v1 the other night. Just hauled my ass away. Strut! Come back up! I don't like it when it's down. Seriously, I feel really slow because I played Misfortune like the past 8 of my games. And I feel really slow now when I play like Varus or anybody else because they don't have Strut going and over 400 move speed.
Plus Varus is constantly hunched over and looks like he's stalking prey or something like that,
yes.
So it makes me feel like he's moving like 15% slower.
And, yeah, we will be streaming all these, so we will have video proof on top of LOL Replay, and we'll announce the winner in a couple weeks on this podcast. So again, you guys join it. All you have to do is beat me in lane, and you win.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
And it's not that hard. Tom can do it with Support Victor.
It's true.
Solo Support Victor, bottom.
Oh man, Support Victor's broken.
Oh my god. So, as we are reaching the end of our hour podcast here, does anybody else have anything they want to bring up for this week? I'll take that as a no. We all want to play the game, right?
Kind of. Although I'm a little upset I didn't get to support Randhurt this week.
Ooh.
You can support me after this.
Yeah, you can go ahead and support Randhurt. We'll do Kog'Maw.
It's my birthday.
Oh, that's right. It's Randhurt's birthday.
Hey!
Birthday.
Tomorrow.
Oh, that sounded gay.
Well, you know me. I'm about 60-40. You figure out the ratios.
Yeah. All right. So, Randhurt,
those are measurements.
will you run down the Audible stuff for us one more time and take us out?
Can I?
Please.
Wow.
All right, so again, I know we brought it up in the beginning of the podcast, but audibletrial.com/tforcepodcast, you sign up for the 30-day trial, and then you get a free audiobook. You help contribute to this podcast. I won't give out the details, but it does, come back and contribute towards us and our success. It makes us look good.
And we're gonna turn around and give back to you. If you guys give to us, we're giving back to you. Again, with these Riot Nasus and Riot Points giveaways and everything. So help us, and we're giving back to you with it.
Yeah, and a lot of this, not to pull back the curtain too much, but a lot of us, well, not a lot of us, 50% of us sacrificed quite a bit in the beginning and continue to sacrifice financially or just time basis. So anyways, you get a lot of audiobooks to choose from, and there's a lot of books. We endorse the Song of Ice and Fire series. They're huge, massive novels, and they'll take you forever to read, or you can just listen to them on your way into work. They do have Audible does have apps for the iPhone, and I believe for the Android market as well.
Kindle, everything, yeah.
Kindle and everything, yeah. So, anything that you would possibly want to listen to it on, it's going to be available for you, and this link will work for you as well. So, at least give it a shot. Try out that 30-day trial. Get that free audiobook. Listen to it in 30 days. Why the hell not? And enjoy. And we thank you for checking that out. So Audible really stepped up to become one of the first sponsors for this podcast, and we appreciate them for that. As well, we'd like to thank everyone that has listened to us. We continue to thank you. We give you opportunities like the t-shirt contest, like the 80 carry competition, to win free stuff from us. We'd also like to let you know to share this the podcast with your friends. Let them know. Post on General Discussion. Call in. Write in. Email us. Whatever you want to do. We've got lots of listeners, but we want as many as possible. We really feel that we're giving you quality content, and we hope that you agree. Seeing as how you're listening to me blabble on right now. But if you do have anyone new that you're trying to get them into listening to us, we'd like to encourage them to check out episode 9, which was entitled From Minnows to Sharks, because that was really a very good breaking point for us as far as episodes are concerned, and offered a lot of great content. So if they're unsure about listening to us, have them check out that. Also, give us feedback on iTunes as well and rate us there. We do have quite a few rates there on iTunes. We appreciate getting more. We really, I hate to say we've almost spread ourselves thin by offering you, the listeners, as many possible opportunities to listen to us as we could. But we wanted to really do that. We got so many requests for iTunes, for YouTube, and we continue to offer up all of those opportunities, FeedBurner as well. So if you're not listening, you have all the opportunities available to you, and your friends as well have everything possible to choose from. So with all that said, I will get off of my soapbox and tell you that you can call into us using our phone number 203-49-FORCE, which is 203-493-6723. You can call, leave us a voicemail with questions. We will cover them in every podcast. We do it continuously, as we did with Pugsy Bub's voicemails about Veigar 2 weeks in a row. Boy, that is a sacrifice in itself. We also have an email at feedback@trinityforcepodcast.com. We treat that the same as the voicemails, only your voice doesn't get to be played live and then saved forever in the archives of the internet. You can also catch us at Twitter, T-Force Podcast, as well as GG Chronicle, and then we all have our own individual Twitters. And we'd also like to say that you can follow and watch and comment and like all of Optimus Tom's videos as well. And thank you, Tom, for being a guest on our show this week.
No problem. Thanks for waiting for me to wake up from my random ass nap.
Pone, you need to play the role of a turret right now and kill Ranhert so he stops talking. Oh my god. That
was the best radio endorsement I've ever heard, though. He was going on and he was talking so well and speaking so fluently. I was just like, I'm gonna let this guy go.
Seriously. And we should also give another shout out to our boy Bad Administrator for that awesome introduction song that we heard at the beginning of the podcast.
Hell yeah.
And hopefully all of you are enjoying.
We actually got a shout out the other day where someone's like, man, I have the Trinity Force podcast intro in my head. I just can't stop listening to it. And I was like, you need to let that administrator know, because that guy is awesome.
Seriously. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised Ponophobia wasn't the one to say that. He's such a stalker fanboy.
Dude, I listen to that intro like every day. I wake up in the morning, and that's what I'm in the shower on repeat. I'm just like, yeah.
I only imagine that that's your theme song. You wake up in the morning, intro music, and as you're brushing your teeth and taking a shower and getting ready for work, he's just playing in the background, kind of like Shaft.
Of course.
Yeah, he's He's like an Old Spice commercial to me. Like I can picture Ponophobia in an Old Spice commercial with that music just going. Like,
You mean you can
power.
envision him like naked in a shower with a towel wrapped around him?
Yeah, why are you guys picturing me naked in the shower for? That is weird.
No, see, I didn't turn this into gay.
You said an Old Spice commercial, and when I think Old Spice commercials, that's what comes to my head.
When I think of Old Spice
Flying
commercials, I
through the
think
stars
of
with
weird
Ray Lewis.
shit. That's what happens.
Oh my
Oh yeah, the
god.
Ray Lewis ones, those are pretty
Alright,
good.
before this goes anywhere else, no, guys, before this goes anywhere else, we can make fun of Old Spice and everything else anyway. Guys, catch us next week for episode 29. Do everything that Ranhurt said before.